Thank you, Todd. Hey, Zach, congratulations on the deal.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So much has changed here. I don't need to tell you, but um, of course, lately your playing partner for so long, Seth Jones, departed. What compelled you to want to stay here long term, and what does it say that you're willing to sign for 6 more years, seven now into the future with this franchise?
Yeah, I mean, well, first and foremost, I love Columbus. It's kind of where I grew up. Like I joined the league at 19. I'm 24 now. Spent my whole career here, and it's been nothing but good to me and my family. And it's a place that I've always enjoyed. So, obviously, I'm extremely happy to be there for 7 more years. In terms of the changes, obviously that stuff happens. We've seen it, time and time again in Columbus, and guys come and go, and it's part of the business. But after seeing what they did last week with the draft and players we got and the direction this team's headed, talking with Larson, Voracek, Booner, just talking with the guys, I fully believe in it, and I believe in the plan, and I think this thing's headed in the right direction.
Zach, how excited are you? Because I think people regard you as a number one defenseman, but it's probably fair to say that Seth was the lead dog while you were here. How I don't know if you agree with that. Forgive me if you don't, but how excited are you to ascend to a clear-cut number one guy? Right? I think you can assume heavy minutes or heavier minutes are coming your way. You're one of the most experienced guys back there, if not the most experienced. This is a bit of an elevation of roles for you.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, me and Seth, ever since I joined the league, played together. And he's one of my best friends, and obviously, I wish him nothing but the best in Chicago. But yeah, no, I am ready. I'm ready to be a true number one and show everyone what I can do without him. I feel like every time I was brought up, it was always with him, and maybe a little bit vice versa. But yeah, I'm just really excited to have this opportunity. I'm not thinking too much about it. Obviously, I just want to go out there and play my game. But yeah, no, I'm really excited for it, and hopefully I can get this team back to the playoffs.
Z, how different do you think that room's going to be this fall when you walk back in there without Foligno, Jones, Savard, so many of the guys that have been the prominent voices for so long now?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a little bit different, but I think that's where it kind of falls, on me, Booner, Bjorky, Elvis, Gavi, guys that have been there. Voracek's coming back. We have a strong group in there. We have a strong core still, and like I said, I fully believe in it, and I think it's time now for us to take steps forward and be more of leaders, and maybe not even be more vocal. Like I'm not the most vocal guy, but just how we play, how we work, how we attack each day, and I think we can get this thing going in the right direction pretty fast.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to Dave Metzold. Go ahead, Metzi.
Thanks, Todd, and congrats on the new deal. You kind of led me right into this on leadership. How comfortable do you feel now taking that next step with some of those departures, some of those voices gone, and you're going to have to fill a little bit of that void?
Yeah, I feel really comfortable. Obviously, like I said, I'm not the most vocal guy in the room. I'm not someone that's going to come in and give some big pump up speech, but I think it's just how I play and going out there and leading by example every day in practice, making sure our habits are good, our work ethic's up, our tempo's high. Just being a leader that way. There's a million different ways guys lead. Everyone does it differently, and for me personally, it's just going out there and doing it by example and doing it how I play. So I'm excited for that.
You've also been around as this team has gone through a myriad of different situations, and you've seen how guys like Nick and Seth and Savvy have helped deal with those situations in the room. What have you learned from that situation, and how do you think that'll help you going forward?
Yeah, I mean, I think kind of just what I touched on, how Foligno would address certain situations is different from Savvy, is different from Seth, and having all those guys and all those leaders and guys in your room, you just kind of pick up on things and learn how they did it, and what to do, what not to do. So yeah, no, I was very fortunate for my first 5 years to have those guys in the room and be able to learn from them and see how they do things. Obviously, they're great leaders, great players, and yeah, so I was very fortunate in order to to help me be a leader now, hopefully, and I kind of learned from them, and hopefully it'll be good.
And the final question for me is, again, you kind of touched on this with your very first statement. There has been this perception here about Columbus. How important was it for you to kind of make a different type of statement by signing for the term that you did and wanting to be here for as long as you will be?
Yeah, you know what, Mets? I don't really know, why Columbus gets the rep it does. To be honest, I love it here. I know there's a lot of guys in that room that love it in Columbus, and as much as it's about a statement or whatever for the city, I'm just happy personally that I get to be there and be a part of this and live in a great town and play in front of great fans. And like I said, it's been nothing but good to me, nothing but good to my family. I've had a ton of fun playing there, and I'm really excited to be there for 7 more years.
Thanks, man.
Next, we'll go to Mitch Stacy at AP. Go ahead, Mitch. Go ahead, Mitch.
Hey, Zach, I'm here. I asked Yarmo the same question, but with all these familiar faces leaving, how important do you think it was for the team to, lock up you and Boone especially, to maybe rebuild some of that goodwill with the fans who, see their heroes, moving on down the road?
Yeah, I kind of just touched on it a little bit, but obviously everyone has their own choices to make with their careers, and so obviously no hard feelings when guys decide to leave. It's part of the business. It happens everywhere. But having Booner here, me now, Bjorky's locked up pretty long term as well. I think it's awesome. I think our core is still strong. Obviously, there's going to be a little bit of a learning curve, like we talked about with new leaders and things like that. But no, I think it's awesome for Columbus. I think it's awesome for the fans. And just with talking with Booner and Bjorky, talking to Elvis the other day, Voracek, everyone's just so excited to get this thing going and get to work in September.
Next, we'll go to Brian Hedger. Go ahead, Hedge.
Hey, Zach, congrats. You've mentioned a couple of times now, talking to your teammates and things like that, and kind of assessing, the plan here. Is it fair to say that, a week ago before the draft that maybe your mind wasn't made up at that point?
Yeah, for sure. I really wasn't sure what was going to happen, and that's why I just wanted to sit back and wait and see what happened. Obviously, I liked their first pick, the Michigan kid, Kent Johnson, and then kept watching and kept hearing good things, saw the trades, the players they brought in, and I saw the plan moving the right way, and I wanted to be a part of it. I'm just really excited, and I fully believe in it.
And the only other thing I have for you is the past couple of years, and I'm sure you've heard it as well. But there's been a lot of speculation about maybe you might want to go back to Detroit and play for the Red Wings. The team that you grew up cheering for. Eventually, that wouldn't be for 2 years. But signing a deal here that keeps you here 7 more years, I mean, that wouldn't probably be until your 30s at this point. Was that a consideration in your mind when you looked at this for the long term? And if so, was that tough to turn down, potentially?
No. I mean, I think like when you first join the league, right? Like it's always cool to play your hometown team because all your friends are there, your family's there. For me, growing up a Red Wings fan, watching all those playoff teams, obviously it's a lot of fun whenever I come home or get to play the Wings. But it didn't even cross my mind, to be honest. This is where I want to be. I'm happy in Columbus. Like I said, it's been so good to me. Why would I want to leave? There's no reason for me to want to leave. And like I said, it's close to home. My parents can come down whenever. My brother, friends can come. And like I said, I just love it in Columbus, and Detroit never really crossed my mind.
You can probably dispel, you and Kent can both in the future can maybe dispel that whole thing about how Wolverines might not like it in Columbus.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's an awesome place. So I think being a Michigan guy and having Ohio State in Columbus is actually awesome because it's a town that appreciates the rivalry. So so I love it.
Thanks, Zach.
Next, we'll go to Greg Wyshynski at ESPN. Go ahead, Wish.
Hey, thanks a lot. Hey, Zach, congrats, man. I was wondering, just to quickly clarify, you said before around the draft you weren't sure what was going to happen. Can you elaborate what you meant by that?
More so just with the plan. Like I knew guys were going to get traded. I wasn't sure who they were going to bring in. It's just one of those unknown type things. I wasn't sure going into the offseason who the coach would be. I hired Lars, who obviously I have a great relationship with, and then going towards the draft and with Seth and all those rumors swirling around, I just kind of wanted to see what happened and see the plan fully. And I'm all in on it. So, yeah.
Cool. And the other thing I want to ask you is there's been a lot of money thrown at defensemen in the last couple of weeks here. How cognizant of that were you? How much were you watching Seth, Dougie, Makar, Heiskanen, and all those deals when it pertains to the money that you might get?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think everyone kind of keeps an eye on it. Obviously as a defenseman, other D affects what you sign for. So yeah, no, I was looking at it. I think it's awesome. Obviously it's whenever, guys can get paid and stuff like that, it's great. But, like I said, I just fully believe in this plan and fully believe in Yarmo and JD that we're going to steer this thing in the right direction, and just happy to be a part of it.
Thank
you. Next, we'll go to Stuart Mason. Go ahead, Stu.
Hey, Zach, congratulations. Glad you're staying around.
Thank you very much.
I wanted to ask you your thoughts on the new players coming in. That's got to be invigorating.
Yeah, it's awesome. It seems like they have a lot of energy. They're excited to get to Columbus. I've been chatting with Voracek quite a bit. He seems like a great guy. I'm excited to meet him. I was talking with Boquist and Bean, and it seems like they're just really excited to get this opportunity to come play in Columbus. And it's going to be a lot of fun in a few weeks here.
Next, we'll go to Aaron Portzline. Go ahead, Porty.
Thanks, Todd. Hey, so Z, just to make sure I'm clear, did you approach them after you saw what happened with Jones's trade, after the Voracek trade, and said, "Hey, I'm ready to talk if you guys want to talk," or were there talks that weren't really going anywhere until you saw what happened? You know what I'm saying? Did it compel you, or did it to start it, or did it just compel you to pick up from talks that were already underway?
I'm not really sure, to be honest. I'm sure my agent and them were talking a little bit, and then he called me and after the draft and the trades and everything, and kind of asked what I was thinking. I had a good conversation with Lars, and I was just getting that exciting feeling again. And like I said, I love Columbus, and it's a place I want to be. And after just seeing the plan and the things they did at the draft and that whole week, I was fully on board. I love the players they brought in, the moves they made. So yeah, no, I think it picked up more so after the draft, but I'm sure they might have been talking before. I'm not really sure.
And I know you're both Michigan guys. How well do you know Kent Johnson, and how well do you know his game?
I know him just a little bit. I've met him a few times around the rink. I don't know him too well, but I watch a lot of Michigan hockey whenever I can. So
Sure.
They're very familiar with his game. I think it's an awesome pick. Outside of him being a Michigan guy, just the excitement level he brings to the game, and it feels like every time he has the puck, he's gonna get you out of your seat or do something exciting. And just his ability to make those exciting plays and execute on them is pretty incredible. So I think he's gonna be a great player for us in the future.
Thanks, man.
And next, we'll go back to Mitch Stacy. Go ahead, Mitch.
I'm good. Thank you.
Final.
Forgot to lower my hand.
And then we'll go to Brian Hedger. Go ahead, Hedge.
Hey, yeah, Zach. Going back to Boquist and Bean really quick. I mean, they bring in two more young defensemen. Obviously, you're young yourself. I think it's fair to say all three of you guys are kind of offensive minded, or have the ability to bring offense there. How excited are you to add those kind of guys to the back end, and what do you think you guys can do here offensively?
Yeah, I think it's great. Obviously we saw a lot of Chicago and Carolina this year with our division. Got to see these guys play a lot, and I think whenever you can add puck moving defensemen and offensive defensemen to a lineup, it's great. I think just getting out of your own zone, making tape passes, creating offense. I think these guys are going to be great additions for us, and I'm really excited to get them to Columbus and get the season rolling with them.
You were a guy who obviously when you came in here at 19, you got an opportunity right away and took advantage of it. There's been some guys here that I know management is pretty excited about the potential they have, but maybe they haven't gotten that opportunity yet, full time. How excited are you to see some of those guys now be able to kind of, step up and help lead this team with you?
Yeah, for sure. I think sometimes all the guys need is just an opportunity and, for their games to really flourish. So I'm really excited to see what they can bring. I think they're going to get great opportunities here in Columbus. Obviously I'm not the coach, so I don't make those decisions, but just after talking with, Lars and management about these players, they're very excited. I'm very excited, and this thing's moving in the right direction.
Thanks.
And next we'll go back to Aaron Portzline. Go ahead, Porty.
Thanks, Todd. Hey, Z, I remember talking to you a few summers ago, and you talked about wanting to highlight one element of your game each summer and really get better at it, really focus on it. Is that still like an annual thing with you? And if so, what's the target this summer?
Yeah, it is. Like there's things I highlight every summer that I kind of just want to add to my game. Right now, I'm kind of starting to get into it a little bit. At first, with the surgery and injury and everything, I just wanted to get back on the ice, get everything feeling good, feel like myself again. But in terms of targeting something, I don't really want to talk about it right now.
Oh, nice. Must be substantial. How are you feeling health-wise? Are you back to 100%?
Yeah, I'm back to 100%. It's awesome. Yeah, I feel great. Haven't even felt it all summer, knock on wood, but super happy with how surgery went and ready to go into the season fully healthy.
Great. Thanks.
We have any other questions for Zach? Porty, did you have one more? Or is your hand just still up?
Damn it,
All right.
Sherlock, I'm done.
That's a fine.
Add it to the jar. All right, everybody. Hey, thanks for joining us today, Z. Congrats again, and thanks for jumping on with us for a few minutes.